You're probably missing out on so much if you're not reflecting on your life. You see, the thing is, life does not happen in a vacuum. Every experience is meant to reveal something to you. Every experience is meant to teach you something that helps you get closer to what you seek in life, that helps you on your journey. And I'm not just referring to major experiences, but I even mean day-to-day experiences, like your habits, your behaviors, your reactions, what you did, how you did that thing. Everything teaches you something. There's always something to take from each and every experience, no matter how small or trivial it might seem. You might be thinking, there's nothing to take from this. Why do I need to reflect? Each day, this day was exactly the same as the one before it. But if you just give yourself some few moments at the end of each day to reflect on how that day went, on what you created, on what results you had, on what experiences you created by how you've been, then you learn a lot. But if you're always just keeping yourself busy, aimlessly and mindlessly indulging in this or that, trying to interact with this, trying to stay on your phone the whole time because you're avoiding something, that tells you that you're running away from something. You just cannot stay with your head for a few moments. Then there's something that you are creating that you don't want to explore. You're afraid of figuring out, of realizing that all of those negative beliefs, all of those negative self-limiting beliefs that you've believed about yourself might turn out to be true about you, about your life, about that day. You're afraid of what you might find that day was not as well, that day was actually bad, and that you need to work more, that you now have more tasks, and the more tasks you make for yourself, you have to meet up to those tasks, you have to meet up to those expectations. So you would rather just completely avoid them and try to convince yourself, yeah, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to work towards my future and this and that, but you just sit there and stuck, not knowing what to do. And by not reflecting, you're only gonna keep recreating experiences that you try to avoid. Your life is gonna be a reflection of an avoidance experience. Everything that you're gonna create, it's not gonna be conscious. There's no factor of conscious. If you're not conscious about how your reality has been going, if you're not conscious about how your life is going, then everything that's going to be manifested, which is projected through you onto your external reality, is going to be more and more of those experiences. Something else to avoid, something else to run away from, something else that's non-intentional manifestation, because nothing about your life is intentional. You're even afraid to go deep into yourself to realize how intentional or non-intentional you were during that day, or how much you've met your expectations or standards during that day. So if you rarely find yourself sitting in introspection or retrospection, then you're probably creating way more blockages than you're aware of. You're creating more and more blockages. You're burying so much deep down without addressing, without acknowledging. And that only keeps creating more and more stuckness and U-turns and repetitions on your journey, because it's as if you've never experienced that thing. If you're what's the whole reason? What's the reason of doing anything you do in life? It's to learn something from it, or to help yourself do something better, get to a better place. But if everything you're experiencing during that day is not even factored into your experience, you're just burying it deep down. You're not aware what happened. If you try to recall it, a few days later, you're not gonna even remember that day. Then it means that it actually never happened. You never took the lesson you needed from that day. You never took, there's nothing that's just happening out of coincidence or randomly, but each day is adding up. And you're gonna be very aware of that, that you need to go back within yourself through the anxiety, through the unexplained anxiety. You're gonna find a pent-up anxiety and worriness. You're gonna find yourself worrying out of the blue about something that you don't know. You're gonna feel anxious about something, but you don't know what you're anxious about. What's happening? Why am always short breath? Why am I always trying to avoid something? What is it? What is happening? What's happening is that you never give yourself time to go back within and explore yourself and know how you did, because you're afraid of what you might find out. And if you're just burying more and more things you're afraid of, coping, trying to avoid them and cope with them using whatever techniques, using whatever habits or behaviors, then that's gonna eventually, flood. That's gonna eventually flood as anxiety, as depression, because you don't know, you're not doing anything. You know deep down that you should be doing this, but you just spend your day from one thing, keeping yourself busy from one thing, to meeting another person, to doing that thing, to holding your phone, to staying all on your phone, to trying to figure out what you're gonna do next, to trying and figure out what you're gonna eat. And then when it's time to go to bed, you're just, on your phone till you fall asleep. You're just so afraid of spending 1 minute by yourself, which means that tells you that yourself is not good company, that yourself is not what you want, that yourself is not where you would like it to be. Otherwise you would love to be with it. Otherwise you wouldn't have no problem sitting in silence with it. But by doing that, you just keep recreating experiences from your past. You're just avoiding your life, you're just avoiding your experiences, you're just running away from each and every day, from each and everything you experience during a day. Then it's just gonna be repeated, because it's as if you never experienced those things. So now you still have to experience them before you're able to break through, before you're able to create that which you seek. But more so is that you have to be conscious. You have to be conscious to be able to manifest consciously. You have to be intentional with your life. You have to apply awareness during your whole day. I'm doing this out of free will. I'm doing this because it's intended to be done, because I intend to do it. It's not just that I'm reacting robotically and acting and living very unconsciously and non-intentionally, and then I want, to create that life. I want to have that thing which I seek. I want to create results, intentional and conscious results. But if you're non-intentional, if you're non-conscious, you're never going to be able to create intentional manifestations. It's always going to be something that's non-intentional, which is probably something that you don't want, and it's going to be more and more reflection of what's really happening within you, which is, avoidance, and burying, avoidance. And it's just gonna be more and more experiences for you to avoid. Your whole life is gonna be an experience of avoidance and escapism. Nothing you're gonna create in life is gonna be something that you actually want to go and explore and seek out and experience, but it's only gonna be another experience to bury and avoid and cope with. But when you give yourself some time, when you sit with yourself and ask yourself, why did I do that thing? What's to take from that thing? How did that thing, different thing happen? You're gonna even realize secrets about how you manifest, about how your manifestations and your creations and your results actually work. Because you're gonna see, when did those different results happen? What did I do different this day or the day before in order for this thing to happen differently? You're gonna be able to notice, and that's how you connect the dots for yourself. And when you connect the dots, the more and more you connect the dots, the more you're gonna be aware and conscious and intentional. You're gonna know that this is leading to that when this happens every time, it has to be reciprocated with that kind of experience. When I react in this way, life has to react in this way oftentimes, and then it clicks for you, and then you're able to, all right, let me try this, and then let me try that, and it's gonna be, an exploratory journey, which is the true nature of life. We're only here to explore, through our higher consciousness. We've manifested this 3D reality to explore it, to explore the whole range of emotions, to explore the whole spectrum of living, of yin and yang. And when you're reflecting, you're experiencing that. When you're in reflection, when you set in introspection and retrospection, you're breaking the code, you're exploring life. And the more you're gonna be able to understand life, and with that, you're gonna be able to create intentionally, to manifest consciously something that you actually want, something that you're no longer avoiding. Because when you stop avoiding, you match that frequency. I'm here to experience my life. I'm here to go all in for my life. There's nothing that I'm afraid of. There's nothing I'm trying to escape. My life is not bad. You start vibrating more and more on that frequency, and your life becomes actually that. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to another video by AF's Conscious Frequency. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, because it helps me so much and it helps this video find its way to many more others who might actually need it.